Hi, I'm Josh Hockman with Park Industries Customer Service Department. On this video, we are going to show you how to set up your tool pocket location or your tool rack location for the X and Y positions. So you'll need, to do this task, you'll need your pointer tool that came with the machine and your jig that will go into the tool pocket itself to find your location. And we'll start by going to the setup screen and the tool rack tab. So I usually start by recording. If you already had your tool rack set up once, this is not a new machine, your values should be very close to what we are. If you had to disengage your motors or something like that is why you'd want to reposition these tool pocket locations. So we're going to record our number 1 tool down and record that value, and then we're going to come down to our last tool in our rack, our number 34. So in this video we're only going to set up rack 1. This is the same process if you want to switch your rack and set up tool rack 2. And we'll record this down, and that will make it easier to find those positions. So we're going to go to reset tool rack, and then just let it know how many tool pockets are in that rack, not the total tool pockets on your machine, just how many are in that first rack is what we're doing. And then your second rack will change depending if you have an ITM, so make sure you record or count how many pockets you have there. So in this case we do have 34. We're just going to hit OK, and now we're going to find our first position here, and we're just going to drive our machine over to that tool pocket. So my x-axis is moving over, you can see now. Now it'll stop when you get to the end of the table. To proceed into the tool pocket area, make sure you hit tool pocket access. And then we will finish moving our machine over to our position that we recorded down. So our X value is accurate here. Now we're going to move our Y-axis back. Okay, so now we're going to come over to our tool rack. And we're going to put our pointer tool into our spindle. And put our jig in here. So you can see our jig has a small dot on the top of it. And we want to just bring our Z height down and then line our point up right with that dot. So I'm going to slowly come down here. So I'm hoping that camera is picking up everything here and you can see it good. But the what you're looking for to get that point dead center of that dot. And I'm just going to come down a little further. And what I like to do to start here is just watch the gap going around the point as you start entering into your jig tool, and making sure that that gap is even going all the way around. If you just push it down into there, it will move that tool a little, and it'll look like you're accurate, but it's actually pulling that jig over. So once it looks like you're in there, you can push it down just a little bit so it does hit a little bit, and you can, if you do see it move any, you can adjust there then. Once you have that set, we will go back to the screen, and then we will just capture that position of the first pocket. And now we'll lift up again. And we'll drive our x-axis over to the last position in that tool pocket row, or tool rack row. If you are having issues with the pendant reaching all the way over the tool pocket, we do have extension cable that you can add on to your existing pendant cable also. So I'm going to move this tool quick, the jig, over to our last pocket. And then I'm just gonna get that lined up there. So I moved my x-axis over to my recorded value there. And we'll come back down with our Z height and just get that nice and centered in there. Once you have that centered in there, we'll come back to our screen, and then we'll just capture our last pocket. And that will set your tool rack 1 up. If you do have 2 tool racks here, you can just come down, go to tool rack 2, and repeat that same process. And that'll find your tool pocket locations. Lift up your Z and then drive your Y-axis forward out of your tool rack area, and then you can turn your tool pocket axis off here. As always, if you have any questions, please give our customer service department a call and we'd be glad to help. Thank you.